You know it's getting really bad for the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association, SFWA, when Mike Glyer, the serial clout goblin himself, has a big long post calling, "In my house, there are many issues." And you can see the virtue signaling in just the title, "In my house." He's not even a member of SFWA. He's not a part of it. He couldn't get access to the online forums. I did, and I posted it and showed exactly what was going on here from leaked messages from their own members. And so now he's, quote, got a person talking to him, which is basically just confirming what I said from their leaked forums without crediting me. I was ahead of this story, and now Science Fiction Establishment is trying to catch up with this. You'll note that he turned off comments for this post because, of course, this is exactly what they do every single time. They try to hide their problems. They don't want people flooding in on this and talking about it. They want to quietly sweep this under the rug. Now, I reached out to SFWA president, the new one, Anthony Eichenbaum, to try to talk to him, see if we could actually help and actually turn this organization around. And I've gotten no response, but there is some response from SFWA people just attacking me as usual for reporting the truth. It's really bizarre to me, but these people, like, when you report the truth, it's more important who you are that's reporting it than actually what's being said. They always go out there. There's been weeks of people going, "Why isn't anybody reporting on SFWA? I want to know what's going on." I broke the story. I came out with it. I showed the forum posts. I showed receipts. And you know, do I get credit for it? No, they just attack me and tell people not to read me. It's like, gosh, you guys, you hate the truth so much because of who delivers it rather than what the message is. And this is the problem with actually SFWA, these people. It's all the attitude of the strange, weird, woke people who have destroyed everything. And because of this, because of their little clout fiefdoms, the fact that they just want everything to be a little clout circle and only have their friends be a part of things and get these little social monkey troop structures rather than actually be and act like professional science fiction writers, all trying to help build each other's businesses. The politics element has destroyed everything. And this should be a warning to them, but none of these people are going to wake up. They're all losers. They're all people who are just not actually making real money in publishing, and they're mad that I am. That's what it comes down to. So let's get into what Mike Glyer is saying about this. There is a little bit of new information, which is very fun to see because we've got a bunch of names who have actually quit and dropped out, who were volunteering. I mean, it looks really bad for this group, and we'll go over and summarize what's happening as well for those who are just tuning in. My name's John Delarose, everybody. I am the most trusted name in science fiction fandom, despite all these people. My Fandom Pulse Substack now is getting, gosh, what is it? About 10 times more than Mike Glyer and his File 770 is monthly. So I should be winning the Hugo Award for Best Fan Publication with that. I should also be winning the Best Hugo Award for my novels, which are excellent. And so I would love for you to check these out. This is on Amazon. The Stars Entwined, it's a trilogy, the Arishon War trilogy. And I'm building a new wonderful series that's spinning out of this. So I'd love for you to get in on this now. If you like classic Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5, that kind of thing, you're going to really enjoy this. It's in the description below, and thank you guys so much for supporting our books, supporting real science fiction. It's meant the world to me. It's been a wonderful sales month, and it's all because of you and the word of mouth of people like you. We don't have an institution to try to push us like these people have, and they fail anyway. It's really funny. So he goes over what happened. We've got 2 resignations of presidents. Jeffy Kennedy resigned August 1st. Chelsea Mueller, who was vice president, who then got sworn in as president, resigned August 15th. Chelsea Mueller actually posted nothing publicly this entire time. She was at Worldcon, did nothing. She spent 2 weeks. She's been vice president, and these women have done nothing with the organization. And that's been the thing. They run for this office, and they act like it's like some sort of high school presidency award where it's like a popularity contest among these just degenerate, socially inept people who are fake science fiction writers. And then they give themselves pats on the back. And so it's one thing, like the whole membership is just a social club now to say, I'm in SFWA, like to act like you're important, and then to get into like the con suite and the private message forums, and that's it. And it doesn't actually do anything other than that. It's been that way for several years. And then on top of this, there's the board, which is like the next step. It's like a big pyramid scheme of clout. And they don't actually sell any books. These women have gone over their stuff. They don't write science fiction really. They're all in there just for social accolades, so they can get like speaking engagements and have people fawn over them. It's really sad. But it didn't used to be that way. SFWA used to be an organization that actually fought publishers with bad contracts and things like that, and that's where it went. Now, Anthony Eichenlaub took over. He's the new guy. Like I said, I've reached out, messaged him, not heard back. I added him on Facebook, nothing. And then Michael Damian Thomas, who's from Uncanny Magazine, actually talked about this and the problems that are out there. Basically, there was an employee for SFWA who was removed, got her email taken away, got her Discord access taken away because she complained about disability access at SFWA. And she was supposedly fired, and apparently she's still working there. This is the new information. She actually does still have an employment contract with SFWA, even though she does not have email access and Discord access. She has no duties right now. So now SFWA members are paying for this person to literally do nothing because they're scared to actually fire her because of the potential lawsuits involved. Now, it looks like there may be an ADA lawsuit anyway. I think this woman's mad. And I think that's what was happening with the board here was like, they're all getting removed because they handled this very poorly. They hired a disabled person who's a woke weirdo, and that's exactly what you get. You get these people complaining all the time, and if you don't do anything, they reach out and sue you. This has happened to a lot of companies out there, and this seems to be the crux of the main problem right here. This is the one, like, it's really funny. It's a woke-on-woke bloodbath that has actually destroyed this organization. It's making me laugh very, very hard. Now, here it is. One employee left and wasn't replaced. This is the deal. The other current employee is Executive Director Kate Baker, who's been there for a while. And one employee was asked about accessibility accommodations, gave 90 days notice, was shut out of the email. And again, this is it. And now he's coming out with this information, which was posted to the SFWA's forum a while back. But I got that here, and here I am. I'm actually referenced here by the deal. John De La Rosa's Fandom Pulse published the text of a SFWA forum post. I guess it looked like it was okay. It was written by somebody else, but it doesn't say who it was. On my email, it looks like he was the one who wrote this. That I got access to the forum, so I will have to revise this. But here it is. Thank you for posting this. Did he actually? He web archived my Fandom Pulse. That's really funny. Refuses to link to me. Mike, I don't actually get advertising revenue off of Fandom Pulse. It's a Substack. There's no advertising revenue though, so there's no reason to do that. Really funny. Now, this continues on, and there's a bunch of just gobbledygook about this. And it gets further. Committees have had members forced out or resigned, including GriefCom. And here's regarding GriefCom. So they have a whole committee about grievances and throwing fits at each other. So funny. I'm going to put that in my Discord server. I'll have a GriefCom, and I'll just laugh at you if you're mad. The GriefCom's job of my organization is to laugh at people who are whiners. How about that? The chair and co-chair resigned after being told their work would have to expand to writers not in SFWA due to its nonprofit status. This happened a year ago or more. It's not related to the current situation, so they're falling apart on a lot of levels. A number of writers I know received a very condescending and dismissive emails from former GriefCom chair, which essentially blamed them for their problems they were facing with the publishers. The new GriefCom chair is much better. I have not heard any complaints about GriefCom. In my opinion, in this case, the organization is working as it should. That's why people are all quitting. There are very few other committees with people resigning. Have been a few. And fundraising committee was dissolved in order to set up a new structure for fundraising task force, which I'm not sure has happened. So all of this stuff is just falling apart at the seams 100%. So there's a list of SFWA committees and all that. And then there's been no communication from the board about this. And here's the board members who have resigned. This is the new information that we have right now. Beyond the two presidents, they've not identified other board resignations. However, SFWA has lost other highly visible workers over the past years, 5 employees and a contractor. Beth Dawkins, a volunteer coordinator, was a part-time employee. She gave 2 weeks on July 1st. Kathleen Mon, event coordinator, this is the person who runs the Nebula Awards, the one thing SFWA does. She gave her notice in July. Oz Drummond, who's a bookkeeper and their CPA, was a contractor. She resigned, so the CPA resigned. And this one actually tells me there's deeper things going on here. And this, I think, deals with misappropriation of funds, violation of their nonprofit status. And there's rumors out there that they funded the entire lawsuit of Patrick S. Tomlinson against a online forum, which he lost to the tune of $100,000. I'd love to see that information coming out. But gosh, losing their CPA is a bad sign. That means there's bad things going on. That means we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg here. Rebecca Gomez Farrell, their communications director, was a part-time employee, resigned. Emily May, their publications director, that's the person who puts out all their emails and everything, was a part-time employee and also resigned shortly before the Nebula Awards. No new employees or contractors have been hired at this time. Wow. This is crazy. Well, I don't want to work as a CPA, but if you need a communications director, I'm obviously a good one, guys. I've got 1 million views per month on the YouTube channel. We just hit 30,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody. And so we've got way more people watching us than actually are in SFWA. I think they have about 700 members now. It's a disaster over there. Call me, Anthony Eichenlaub. So that's a lot of people who have backed down. Another volunteer known to have stepped down is Michelle Baker from her lead position on the Estates Project, but that was unrelated to the current situation. So apparently there's these NDAs about things, even though they've got a petition for bylaws to remove NDAs, and it's about confidentialities, crazy stuff. Now, we've talked about the check issued to a charity anthology. This deal, this looks like a money laundering scheme where the SFWA was sending members' dues to publish this publisher in order to send money to Ukraine. Very sketchy right there. But apparently they also had it locked up and were, after a year and a half of working with that, told them to tear up their check. Very weird stuff. And so last couple of years, they say it's been Kafka-esque in SFWA, dysfunctional in terms of opaqueness and poor internal communications. Projects the committees had spent dozens of hours working on abruptly canceled by the board with no notice or rationale. The volunteers being blamed for the failing to communicate when they asked what happened. So this is a wild one right here. And so apparently they wanted this to go out to these people. And there's a huge talk about this. But at the end of the day, it was just a big, crazy scheme. It's what it seems like. So they're all saying, yes, SFWA will be a great thing and a great thing if we can get it back on track. But guess what? Not so much. This thing is not going anywhere. So who are these people in charge right now? Anthony Eichenlaub is their president. Like I said, I've reached out to him. Jonathan Brazie's their CFO. This guy's actually a good guy who writes real science fiction. Maybe I'll see if he'll chat. Christine Taylor Butler, don't know who that is. Phoebe Barton, Noah Studevant, Ogen Chowie, Donald Ekpe. This is a African writer who keeps winning awards at Worldcon, who can't afford to go to Worldcon. Another fake writer who is just a woke diversity hire. Alton Kramer, who I also don't know who they are. So we got one real author, a bunch of nobodies, and and Anthony at the top. Crazy stuff right here. We'll see how it goes. I'll reach out to everybody because that's what we do here. We report. I'm not about refusing information or anything just because of the source. I don't act like the SFWA people, but they're going at me on Blue Sky, of course. This is Kate Hartenfeld, writer of novels, The Valkyrie, etc., interactive fiction, and of course Assassin's Creed tie-in novels, which means this person is woke because it's Assassin's Creed's crazy. Teacher, she, her, and attacks me here. This is an extremely niche SFS PSA, but if you see something called Fandom Pulse, that's my Substack and my news organization, that's John Delarose. It's not all me, by the way. I've got contributors there. So it is other people who also write for us. Don't misattribute, my friends. But here we are. For FS, that means for F's sake, thank you. Very good to know. That chud still exists. That effing guy. Thanks for the PSA. Sorry about the accidental, now deleted repost. I've seen a few these things going around lately, worming his way in as usual. Worming my way into what? Now this guy is one of those SFWA board members that I just mentioned. Look, he sees all. He's just retweeting the good persons. If you aren't aware, JDA is a huge troll who harasses people. So you see, they're attacking me for reporting the news on this, even though they were reposting it because I actually reported the news. But once they found out who I am, they'd rather like go at me than have the news reported because nobody else will. Very, very funny. And you can see John Scalzi's whole "don't engage, just block" is one of my best things about Blue Sky. They're so scared of anybody with alternative opinions or just different values or differences whatsoever. They're liars about diversity and inclusivity because it's quite the opposite. They want a monolith and they want no inclusivity whatsoever. They want to exclude anyone who actually does the work and gets things done because they're all a bunch of whiny losers who can't sell books. That's my analysis. Alice Dare. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to grab my Stars Entwined and the full trilogy. Write better books than anybody in SFWA, guaranteed. And that's in the description below. We'll be back soon.